Guys, what's up? It is Doug, and welcome to another edition of Spooky Villages, another guide edition of Spooky Villages. Thank you all for the feedback. It appears that people are, digging these guide videos on how to theme around certain buildings, and I'm here with another one. Today we're talking about another one of my favorite themes, one that I have a lot of opinions on, the trick-or-treat village. So what do I mean by the trick-or-treat village? Well, I mean this is a realistic scene, kind of nostalgic. It looks like real houses like you'd find in a real Halloween decorated neighborhood. That's generally what folks mean when we're talking about the trick-or-treat series. And before we get into the buildings, I'm going to do the same thing with the recommendations. I'm going to do the budget one. I'm going to do if you have a little bit more money, but both of those are available. And then I'm going to do an honorable mention for if you've got money and you want to, or you don't have a budget, I should say, if you don't, if you're not limited by the budget or your time to try and find a retired piece, the honorable mention, and then the one I would actually recommend. So I'm going to keep doing that. I know in the last video, some people were like, why didn't I say this, that? I'm trying to limit it. That's the point. At least that's my point in trying to do these things. And now I'm going to contradict myself a little bit because I want to say, if you're getting into trick-or-treat villages, there's a lot out there. And they're the main companies. You have Lemax, Spooky Town, and you have Department 56. Department 56 is the clear winner, we'll say, as far as detail and effects and paint jobs and all that stuff goes with trick-or-treat villages. I feel like the Lemax stuff, normally you're going to get bulb lit as far as the trick-or-treat village pieces go. And really, there aren't a lot of modern Lemax trick-or-treat village pieces. There are a good amount of retired ones that, the early 2000s, it feels like Lemax did a lot of those. Not as many lately. There are some good ones, though, that they have done. But Department 56, by contrast, has the Trick-or-Treat Lane series. And that's literally the whole line, is trick-or-treat houses. They're expensive, but they're normally very well detailed. A lot of times they're gift sets, especially the older ones, although some of the modern ones have been gift sets. They're just very well themed. So I just want to tell you guys, if you're new, maybe look up the Trick-or-Treat Lane series. You really can't go wrong with any of the trick-or-treat houses, in my opinion, because if one speaks to you, great. They're so nostalgic, and that's what I love about it. Seeing those buildings just takes me back to the idyllic version of like being a kid trick-or-treating and the crisp leaves, or crisp air, I guess, with crisp leaves too on the ground. I love them. So, all right, trick-or-treat villages. With that said, let's get into my first one. My first recommendation if you're going to theme a trick-or-treat village. This is an available piece, and if you're on a budget, Lemax Spooky Town Spooky Winter. Now, this was tricky to do a budget one because there aren't actually a lot of trick-or-treat houses currently in production, especially not ones for budget. This one came out a couple of years ago, I think 2019 if I remember right. Pardon if I'm wrong here, I'm kind of just shooting from the hip on that one, but this one is relatively cheap. I think it's under 50 bucks now. Again, my apologies, because these buildings kind of fluctuate depending on dealer, but bulb lit, it's simple, but it's very thematic. This would be a house that's decorated that won like a neighborhood contest, right? Some neighborhoods do that where people walk around and they judge. And the Spooky Winter, that's the whole theme of it. Very cheap, especially by Lemax Spooky Town, or really any Halloween village standards. If you're getting anything under $50, that's pretty cheap as far as the building goes. I thought it had a good paint job on it, good fit and finish. A very nice, budget-oriented trick-or-treat piece. All right, now if you want to spend a little bit more money on something, again, there's not a lot of options that are currently available. There's a ton that are retired, and a lot of the retired trick-or-treat pieces, by the way, they had big runs. Not all of them, but a lot of them did have big production runs, so they're not super rare to find a lot of them. One of them is kind of rare that I'm going to talk about, but just so you know, with the exception of, I'll just say Spider House by Department 56. That one's very expensive now, but most of them you can have, even though it'll be expensive, you can get them relatively easily. But we're going to go for the more expensive option of something available today. We're going to go to the Trick-or-Treat Lane series from Department 56. This is Halloween Party House. So Halloween Party House has actually been available for a few years. This might even be the longest run Trick-or-Treat Lane building that's out there. You can get this one I forget what it is now, but it's in the low 100s. A lot of the Department 56 buildings are going to be around $200 anymore, or at least definitely the upper 100s. This one's been around for a few years. I think they're trying to get rid of the inventory on it, but this one, it's bulb lit, but I think it looks very nice. The paint job is great. The fit and finish on it is fantastic. It looks beautiful. And again, if you want to spend a little bit more money for something that's available now, I like that one. Now, I would have said Cemetery House by Department 56, but that one was limited run and it's already harder to get. So I'm just qualifying that just by that metric. But Halloween Party House, that would be my recommendation if you want something that's still available, still, I guess, in production, or at least, I don't know if it's being produced, but I know it's still in stock at various places, and Department 56 has it in stock. So that would be my recommendation. Now, the fun part. The retired pieces. If you want a theme around a trick-or-treat village, the couple I'm going to recommend here are doozies. Again, though, you could kind of go any of the Department 56 Trick-or-Treat Lane series. They are just, to me, I think the unquestioned king of the trick-or-treat village. My friends, shout out to my friend Kelly, who's got a massive display. She does the Village Idiots with me. She's big into trick-or-treat villaging. She would agree on this. I think this is one area where Department 56 rocks. Over the Lemax stuff. So that said, my honorable mention, if money and time isn't an issue and you want to track it down, 1031 Trick or Treat Drive. So this building, and actually gift set, because it is a gift set, legit gift set. This is a precursor to Trick or Treat Lane. I believe this is one of the buildings that sort of inspired it. It's got a killer soundtrack. Like when I talk about Haunted Barn, you could actually just run this soundtrack. It's great. It just provides ambiance. I love it. The paint job is great. The whole gift set is awesome. It is a beautiful piece. I adore this. And it's a gift set, so if you wanted to start a trick-or-treat village, really you just need this one box and to get it. And it's not that hard really to get. Yes, it can be pricey, but it's not near as pricey or hard to get as some Department 56 items, that are out there, retired buildings. Even with Trick-or-Treat Lane, like again, I mentioned the Spider House. That one goes for a fortune. And the Spider House is not my pick, by the way. I know a lot of people suggested it. I like the Spider House. The only thing with Spider House, I don't think it's themed as well maybe as it could be, especially if you're going to spend the buku bucks that they cost now to get it. But so 1031 Trick or Treat, it's amazing. I love this. It's so thematic. It's beautiful. It is Halloween in a box. You cannot go wrong if you use this to start your Trick or Treat village display. All right, so my pick. If time and money is of no concern to you, and really, it's not the time thing. It's pretty easy to find. You can find resellers in other places. It's only a few years old, but it is expensive. I knew I was going to pick this immediately whenever I was going to do this video. This is a no-brainer. My favorite trick-or-treat house of all time is the Black Cat Flat by Department 56. I love this. It's a showpiece. What is more Halloween than black cats? I love the Happy Halloween on top. It is a gift set, by the way. It's another Department 56 gift set. The house looks gorgeous. It just screams Halloween. It looks like classic Halloween. Some of the, especially recent years actually, some of the Trick or Treat Lane series, the houses, which by the way, I guess we can talk about it. They normally have a theme like Spider House or Pumpkin House or the Mummy House, which is the new one. They have a central theme around them, like somebody went all out to decorate around them. In recent years, I don't think they've actually done that good of a job in the theming. I think they could have themed them up a little bit more. This one is immaculate. I adore this. I think this one came out in 2018. Again, my apologies on that. They did not run this one for very long, and because of what it is, it's big on the resale market. The lighting rocks. It's a showpiece. I don't know what else to say about it. I adore it, and there's not even a question. I really like the 1031 Trick or Treat set, but again, I don't even have to think about it. I don't know what else to say. I love this theme, and I don't even have to think about it. This is an amazing building, an amazing gift set. If you want to start your trick-or-treat village display around something that's a little more expensive, you cannot go wrong with this one, as long as you want to pony up and pay the asking price. All right, guys, hey, that's it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Those are my picks, though, for what you should do if you're new and you want to theme around a trick-or-treat village and you want to start small. Pick any of those buildings or gift sets, go around them, boom, whether you want to go on a budget or higher. And there are a ton of accessories, by the way. I'm specifically not mentioning accessories in these videos because that's a whole nother, thing. I'm trying to limit the scope here, but feel free if you've got some great trick-or-treat accessories, put them down below. For the next theme I'm going to do, We're going to talk haunted houses, another one of my favorite themes. What to do if you want to theme around a haunted house. Like a traditional haunted house, what I mean by that. I'll get more into it when I do the video, but I'm very excited to talk about that one. I've got a bunch of stuff coming up here theme-wise. I have a brand new Department 56 building from this year. Actually, I'm going to be reviewing soon here, just FYI. But yeah, that's it, guys. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? I love these buildings. Black Cat Flat, that's a chef's kiss. I love that building. So, all right, guys. Hey, thank you very much for watching. Thank you, as always, to my Patreon supporters, and I'll see you soon.